Good morning.
Welcome in to twitch.tv/ice cream. My name is Graham Day, and this is the man that we call BB. I'll read.
Hello, Graham. How we doing this fun Friday morning?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Looking nice and stylish in your ICU OG jersey. Bibby was streaming the other day, and he went off, because he's proper professional, went off to change his football shirt into an ICU jersey because, you know, if you want stuff clipping, then you know, there's no brand clashing and none of that sort of shit. But just makes me realise we need to sort out like an alternate jersey provider. For anyone that doesn't know, we do have ICU jerseys that were provided by Gamers Apparel, but they went bust, so you can't get them from them anymore. So we have some people in the world that have jerseys, some people in the world that want jerseys but can't get them, and we have no way to fulfil that, so we need to sort that at some point too.
If being perfectly honest, Graham, there's a lot of people who wanted it but couldn't get hold of one. But yeah, the Gamers Apparel website is still open, so please don't go onto the website and buy anything. We can't control what gets on and off that website now.
Yeah, do not buy anything from Gamers Apparel. They are still up, and apparently look like they're still taking money, even though they've ceased trading. So do not. We can't remove our stuff from that site. It's all controlled by them. So our stuff is still on there, but you can't buy it, and I assume we'll never receive it, but probably will be charged for it. So don't do it. Fuck them. We will sort that in the meantime. But for everyone else that's wondering, why would I even get any merch and stuff? Well, this is Ice Cream, and this is The Scoop. Yeah, this is the number one games talking cast of video show of the internet. Mate. Nice. Okay, let's try that again. This is The Scoop, the UK's number one video game podcast, if we do say so
Ourselves.
We're going to bring you everything from the world of video games. The biggest, the best, and the breaking stories. But we don't just bring you the stories, we'll bring you our thoughts and impressions on those stories too. But it's not just about our thoughts and impressions. We want your thoughts and impressions, and then your thoughts and impressions and our thoughts and impressions. That's kind of how the whole thing works. So if you are in the stream on twitch.tv/ice cream, please do feel free to get involved. And it's important that you do, because the live stream is turned into a podcast, video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Music, and
Spotify.
Yeah. No, but please do feel free to get involved, because if not, I have to talk to Pippa. But also, on-demand listeners, they don't get to throw in their thoughts and their opinions, so you get to do that on behalf of those. Before we jump into the show, though, a couple of talking points. First off, shout out to the lovely people at Kingdom Come Deliverance. Play on Deep Silver, because they did hook us up with a code each. Bibby did play some on Wednesday. We will be talking about that in the show. But unconfirmed yet, the loot drop. If you don't know what the loot drop is, basically we give subscribers a prize every month. Well, one subscriber a prize every month. And that list of subs was exported on Monday, ready to go. We haven't done it yet because we were trying to see if we were getting another code of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So we might be giving away a code to someone. You don't have to do anything. If you're already in it, you're already in it. If you're not in it, it's too late anyway. We've got the list of names. But one person could be bagging themselves a copy of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And if not, we'll do a game of your choice or something. But we'll have that hopefully within the next couple of days or so. And we'll get that sorted, shipped out. Nice. If you want to be in next month's loot drop, you just need to sub to the channel between now and then. The first Monday of every month, we draw the list of names and then we give someone summit, because it's just a little way of giving something back. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, let's jump into the split screen. Ooh. Wait a minute, you call him BB? I'm sure he was in Death Stranding. He's also a little round ball that you fire out of guns. True story.
Yeah.
So there you go. Well, obviously, responsibly. Do not fire round balls out of guns just willy-nilly, because that would be silly and careless and stuff. No, yeah. There's some people that want anything ICU hat, but want any... Are you okay? Oh, okay, there we go. There's some people that want an ICU hat but can't win one. There we go. Easy for you to say so yourself. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly, easy for you, mate.
I will send you details over to... I will sort your details out today, Tank. Thank you for sending me that over. It'll be Tuesday when it gets posted out, because that's when I'm next in the office. So yeah, I'll get that sorted out, mate, and we'll get that posted out.
So you were
should be with you by late next week.
In the office yesterday, and you didn't sort it out for him.
I know, mate.
Wow. I mean,
bad.
He want anything ICU have for keep hand. Great talk, mate. No Korvapusti is good. Yeah, same. Just not my thing that much, but I do eat one for free. Reese Piraka is the shit of shits. I've been having that recently. It is so good. The most expensive version of the most expensive game there is. Yeah, I don't know what. I think Lake's just walking through IKEA or something. I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. I realised that it's Finnish and Swedish, but whatever. Let me know how much I owe. It's 47 quid, Tank, mate. Find him and fuck him, Tank.
Find him and fuck him.
I'll have anything I see. Yeah, I don't care. I'll happily do you some free advertisings. To be fair, you have been doing us some free advertisings because I regularly look because I'm sad. I'm very lonely. Anyone that subscribes to the channel on Twitch, by the way, you can do that for free with Prime. Just saying. Anyone that subs gets access to our emotes, and our most used emote over the last 3 months is the up the i5cu emote that I made for a bit of a joke for the i5 boys. Because they were talking about making i5 Etsy or I don't know, something i5 or something like that, and I was like, God, the ICU boys, they were the i5cu boys first. Bit of banner, made them most used emote on our channel now.
Fantastic,
nice. Thank God it's not the other one. To be fair, those two were also in the top 5, should I say? So I think Hello was up there. Do you know what? I'll do it. Twitch dashboard. Where's engagement stuff? I can never find it. So viewers engagement. There we go. Within the last month, the top used emote is up the i5cu. With 140 users. Stay Frosty is second with 106. Then we go to Let's Go, which is third with 67. But then fourth and fifth are Tito Chompy Pickle and then Tito Animated Chompy Pickle with 62 and 54 individually. So there you go. 143. Nice. So yeah, there you go. The i5cu and Tito's Pickle are in demand. You wouldn't have thought that, would you?
Yeah, here we are.
Okay, that's enough of that. We were here to talk video game news, though. So if you are watching and listening on demand, then if you want to get involved in these conversations, you want to see those emotes and stuff, you can on Twitch. But if you don't, you're just here for the news. That's good because we're going to jump in. We've got a few stories to go through for you. We're talking about Football Manager 25 or not, as the case may be, as it has been cancelled. We'll have a little update on Metal Gear Solid Delta, Snake Eater, having some information leaked, apparently. We'll go through that briefly because we do work on the game. We can't say too much. GTA 6 is on track to release in fall, and then we'll talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and how it's performed at launch. Before we wrap things up with your Free Game Friday updates. Yeah. Nice. I'm going to ask you a question, and it's not because I want you to pad while I do something in a different source or something anyway. Fib? Nice. Fib. How do you feel about Football Manager?
Yes, Graham. I really like Football Manager, and it's such a shame that it's come to this. I'm sure we'll find out what this is very soon.
That's perfectly timed padding there that wasn't padding at all. As we jump over to this slide. Excellent, mate. Professional. Loved it. Nobody could even tell that you were padding there. God damn. Chris Scullion at VGC has this article that says, after multiple delays, Football Manager 25 has now been cancelled. Football Manager 25, quote, would not achieve the standard required, end quote, Sports Interactive says. Which is a bit of a shame, but let's go into it and we'll find out what you guys think and what we think straight afterwards. So Football Manager 25 has been cancelled, Sports Interactive has announced. In a statement posted on the official Football Manager account on X, the developer stated that, quote, following extensive external discussion and careful consideration with Sega, end quote, the focus will now shift to the next game in the series. Quote, for the large numbers of you who pre-ordered FM25, we thank you enormously for your trust and support. We're very sorry to have let you down, the statement reads. We know this will come as a huge disappointment, especially given that the release date has already moved twice and you have eagerly been anticipating the first gameplay reveal. We can only apologise for the time it has taken to communicate this decision. Due to stakeholder compliance, including illegal and financial, not illegal, that would be wrong, including legal and financial regulations, today was the earliest date that we could issue this statement. We have always prided ourselves on delivering the best value for money games that brings you countless hours of enjoyment that feel worth every moment and every penny you spend. With the launch of FM25, we set out to create the biggest technical and visual advancement in the series for a generation, laying the building blocks for a new era. Let me get rid of this advert down here. Due to a variety of challenges that we've been open about today and many more unforeseen, we currently haven't achieved what we set out to do in enough areas of the game, despite the phenomenal efforts of our team. Each decision to delay the release was made with the aim of getting the game closer to the desired level, but as we approached critical milestones at the turn of the year, it became unmistakably clear that we would not achieve the standard required, even with the adjusted timeline. Whilst many areas of the game have hit our targets, the overarching player experience and interface is not where we need it to be. As extensive evaluation has demonstrated, including consumer playtesting, we have clear validation for the new direction of the game and are getting close. However, we're too far away from the standards you deserve. End quote. So the studio adds that this is still the article, by the way. This is not me ad-libbing. The studio adds that while it could have released Football Manager 25 in an unfinished state and continued to build on it with patches, quote, that's not the right thing to do, end quote, and that a further delay beyond March would have been too late into the current football season. I will stop here because there's a few more paragraphs. They then did go on to basically saying it would be effectively unethical to charge people for an unfinished game in March and then ask them to pay again for another game in November. So they've just decided to pull this and move on from there. So we'll wrap that up there. Shout out to Chris Scullion and the team at VGT for this. We can have our conversations. And Mr. Bibb, obviously I'm a football guy, not a football manager guy. You, on the other hand, very much are. What is your take on this?
Well, first of all, the emotional side of me is incredibly disappointed. I love Football Manager. I play a lot of Football Manager, not as much as a lot of people in my circle. A lot of people, it's their main game. But I love Football Managers. Like, if Samantha's watching something daft on TV that I've got zero interest in, fire up the laptop, I carry on with my season. Like, that is the most idle gaming is becoming one of the most profitable things, especially mobile games. And I definitely think Football Manager kind of lends itself to a lot of that. Like, it's not as intrusive. You don't have to demand absolute attention to it all the time. Obviously, you do if you want to be the absolute best. But a lot of the time, I pick my team. I'll try and find new players to bring in. I'll shift them out. I'm not one that's going to spend so much time on my tactics and things like that. But I have a large emotional connection to the Football Manager / Championship Manager / football management genre. And this is extremely disappointing, the fact that we're not going to get one this year. But the main reason is it's not ready. And I will always give props to any video game company that will come out and say, look, it's not in a sellable state. Ultimately, that's what this is. It comes down to them wanting you to buy their game and then be happy with it. And ultimately, they're saying, if you buy this game, you're not going to be happy with it. So therefore, we're not going to release it. And that is always where the golden handshakes come in from me. I will never begrudge anyone delaying their game, especially one that's a yearly title, especially one that's a highly profitable game for them. This hasn't been done lightly. There is clearly something wrong with the game that will give the user an incredibly bad experience. And they're saying it's not good enough. Fair play. Like, the fact that they're missing a yearly game, I can't imagine how much that's going to do for their stocks. Because I think Sports Interactive is one of the most profitable arms of Sega. So the fact that they're actually chopping that off for the entire year is unfathomable, shall we say.
Yeah. I saw someone, and I'm going to take this with not even a pinch, but with a bucket full of salt, because in the nicest possible way, the person that posted this did look a little bit like an uneducated gammon in his posts, but someone responding to like their tweets, he was kind of being negative about it. But he did say one thing that stuck out to me: is they're sacrificing 100 million for this. That's how much they earn from it. I'm thinking, well, it could be possible. It could be way too short or way too large. I don't know what that figure is, but the gist of it is, they will have already had thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of pre-orders already in the bag. So that's 40 to 70 quid, don't know where it priced, somewhere in that ballpark, I imagine, per pre-order, guaranteed, and then more after launch. But rather than taking a quick buck and capitalising off those people, not a very nice way to describe Nietzsche. Well, there you go, yeah. But like, rather than capitalising on those people, they've gone, do you know what? We're not a fan of this. And this is where, if we were a podcast that was purely about making content that people will clip and share, I would tell you now that this is a stupid decision. Like, they should be fucking releasing a game. It's unfair, because I would get the different opinion from Bib and we'd have a good cop, bad cop sort of approach. But we don't really do that. We try to play devil's advocate where necessary, but we give it how it is. And both of us feel clearly that this is the right decision, because they've delayed a game. It's disappointing. They've delayed the game again. Still disappointing. But they're chasing the right outcome. Too many games in all genres these days will release a subpar game and then fix it afterwards, after they've got your money. I'll take your money now, but you won't be able to play it for another 3 months because it's still dog shit. And then we'll discuss it then when there's another patch or update that comes out alongside that where I can take even more money off you. These have gone, nah, give us a few months. Give us a few more months. Okay, I still don't want to take your cash. And even the fact that they then go, not only will it be a broken experience, I mean, reading between the lines, they have said there's a lot that looks good. There's a lot that works great. But from the user perspective, and I read into it as, and I don't think this is probably a full example, but I'm just going to explain it like this because it's easier to understand, is I read it as the UI, the dashboard, the heads-up sort of stuff. That stuff is where the bugs are. So they've done the big, heavy stuff in terms of making the engine work, getting the physics engine going, making the visual stuff all kind of work as well. But what's the point in having all of that if that is then broken by all of the stuff that sits on top of it? And it's not as simple as, well, your engine works, but you've just got a couple of dents in the bonnet, because you can just tap out the dents in the bonnet. This probably still mega knock-on things after it. But cool, a lot of good stuff in there. But if I'm still going to be behind a wall and can't see the cool stuff you've got there, or I can't actually touch it because there's something in the way, cocking up my maneuvers, or whatever it is, I'm trying to give you multiple different ways of describing a visual metaphor of, it's just not right, and we wouldn't enjoy playing this, and we don't expect you to enjoy playing this, so we're not going to put it out. I mean, that for me, to sacrifice hundreds of thousands, if not millions of pounds worth of revenue to then come back stronger next year, is the absolute pinnacle of what you want from any brand in video games. I want to look out for your long-term enjoyment as a fan, as a consumer of this game, and it's probably easier to do that in an annual release, because you need to make sure you've got people's loyalty and have them coming back. But I'll disregard that. The fact that any game has taken long-term success over a quick buck is an absolute win for me. So it's great to see it. It's bizarre though to see that and see how many people. And I don't know, is it? Anyway, this is a question for everyone in the chat as well as Bib. Is it just a football thing? Are football fans too expectant? Because football fans will shit on anyone else's club or their own club or their favourite games faster than a lot of genres. Is that right? Or would you say that's just a modern societal thing? Because the amount of expectation of people saying, no, just give me the fucking game. I just want it now. Why have you not done it? You've had 3 months extra and so on. What are your thoughts on that, Bib?
I think we've got two of the world's most tribal fan bases coming out of this. You've got gamers who no holds barred, they do not give a shit, and then you also have football fans, no holds barred, don't give a shit. Combine them both and you have a recipe for disaster. And I know obviously because we work in the industry, it definitely comes as you're putting your arm around your mate.
Yeah, I know,
It's bad for him. Jesus Christ, fucking part of Mike Reader.
Sorry, mate. Can continue, mate.
it feels like you're going into bat for them. But on this occasion, do you know what, mate? Cards on the table. I fucking am. Like, because what's the alternative? They release this game in the current state because they said they would. It gets to March, they release the game. The game is an abomination. It doesn't work. You can get over the early access stuff at the beginning of the season, like every single year. I don't know why it happens to me. It must happen to everybody. Well, it does happen to everybody else because you see it all the time in forum posts about it. All of my squad gets injured. All of my squad during the early access. I don't know why everyone gets fucking injured. They go onto the pitch, injury. Go onto the pitch, injury. Right the way throughout the squad, and it literally brings either players through your youth team or creates players that are in grey that you can't give a contract to basically fulfill your fixture list until the rest of your team comes back in. That is the same every single year for me. I don't know if it's just my account. It's just injury. I'm on the injury list or whatever. That's just what happens.
Because you're playing the cracked copies that you get from freefootballmanager.com.
Yeah. We're sailing the seas. But you can get over that. It's in the early access stuff. It gets patched out. Jobs are good, and you can carry on. If this game, when it releases, is in that much of a bad shape, chances are you're not going to buy it again in October, November time, and the rest of at the end of the year. Chances are you're probably never going to want to play a Football Manager game anymore. You're just going to end up getting a editor base for one of the older games that does work. The loyalty then starts to ponder off. You become toxic on social media. They lose stocks and shares. They lose money coming in left, right, and centre. And I did see Tito put something in the chat saying that they did get money from Game Pass for this. Of course they do. Every single game that you see on Game Pass, that studio will get some form of compensation for that, because technically they're losing out on sales because it's on football, because it's on Game Pass.
The question
they will
for,
be compensated for that.
Anyone else that's not got chat says, have they had funds from Microsoft for Game Pass? It was confirmed on there as well, was the question. So sorry, continue.
Yeah, so I doubt they would have. They will have had some form of money. Whether or not that ends up going back to them, I'm not entirely sure. But it's not as if they're paying for exclusivity for it. They're just hosting the game like they do for every other game that's on there.
I don't know the depth of this process. I have been aware of like how this works. I won't say where or how, because NDAs and stuff. But from my experience, which was probably not a fully blanket experience, is the money comes after, not necessarily before. You agree for it, and then it's almost like you agree flat rates for what it is, and there might be performance related boosts off the back of it and so on. So they've probably had an agreement. I'm not sure if they will have had cash on it yet. They'll probably just default that agreement in terms of like they'll either kill it entirely or they'll move it on to the next one maybe or something.
Yeah, so like they usually give it away in Epic Game Store at some point throughout the year as well. It's never usually after launch. It's usually towards the back end when the season finishes, because the football season finishes the latest May, the latest very early June, sometimes the end of May, depending on if your team obviously goes all the way through to the Champions League final and stuff like that. And then you might have the Euros or whatever, so they may give a copy of the way. But the football season finishes then. And then the new game usually comes out in October, November time, which the season's usually been underway for 3 months by then. Again, depending on who you support, you might have your team might be taking part in qualifiers for the Champions League in the end of July or whatever. So there is usually a long downtime between the end of the football season and you actually getting the game. So usually in that time you'll get a free copy of the game on Epic Game Store or whatever. So how this is going to work with this bit, it could get delisted. From the likes of Game Pass or whatever. But this game, 2024, for instance, is still going to go on for the rest of the year until November. Like, people will be creating, editing. I think Sports Interactive mentioned there wasn't going to put an update out.
Yeah, I've just going to jump onto that bit. Tank says, patch for the current FM, but they have said that they won't do that. And I've seen a lot of people saying, just give us a patch for it. But the issues there, whilst it seems pretty similar, in terms of, well, you were gonna update the rosters for 25, just put them in 24. People could do that in a couple of afternoons at home with mods and so on. It's not so much around whether they can do that, it's whether they're allowed to do that. So they won't have paid for the rights to extend 24. They will have paid for the rights for a brand new entity entirely. And whilst that's just one number different, it's an entirely different IP, so the licenses don't apply to that. So they'd have to go through a whole process of agreeing it, signing it, and so on. So
it's the same reason why you won't see remasters of football games, in it, because the licenses for the players that was in that game no longer transfer over into the modern day. That's why you never get a remaster of PES 6. Even though everybody wants it, you'll never get a remaster of it. People will make PES 6 in the newer versions of the games, So you'll be able to download patches for it to be able to do that, whether or not it be gameplay, filters, or scoreboards, overlays, all of that other stuff that will be available in the game, but you'll never get a one-to-one version of that. Just go to FM Scout, FM Base, all of these other places to get the database. I've just gone to FM Scout now, and right there, 24 to FM 24 to FM 25 DLC, all the transfers from the January transfer window is already there. You can basically play FM 25 now in FM 24. Difference is you're not going to have a new UI, you're not going to have a good engine, but you've got a game that works for the next 8 months, and that's the biggest thing to take away from this.
I mean, can you apply them to like console versions of the game, or is it only a PC?
No, just PC, which is massively unfortunate. Like there should be somewhere on the launcher when you go through the game where you can download like community databases, very much like you can on PC. Obviously, this is just a drag and drop into a folder, and then you can pick it when you get into the game. Which patch you want us to do. If you want the 99 2000 patch, you can do that. If you've got it, you just drag it in and then you start the game with it. It's very easy.
The difficulty with any of
that stuff on
that sort of stuff is that's where like cease and desist stuff comes in, because I know the different games. I think FIFA have had the ability to like import tournaments and things on modes, like the Champions League. When they didn't have the license, people would like make the mode that was exactly the UEFA Champions League copied in terms of format and naming and structure and branding and whatever, but then they were getting like dodgy looks from UEFA and so on, so that I think may have moved that stuff out of it. So having that stuff where you could just download it from the online, like you get in WWE, where you get like the created wrestlers that are clearly not in there and so on anymore. Sports IP is a lot more aggressive in terms of pursuing copyright infringements than anything, so that's possibly why it's there. Just want to quickly jump off this, and so this is one of the lines that I touched on that wasn't in the VGC article, but I wanted to mention it, is we could have pressed on, released FM25 in its current state and fixed things down the line, but that's not the right thing to do. We are also unwilling to go beyond March as a release, as it would be too late in the football season to expect players to then buy another game later in the year, which is incredible, because how many other games, like, how much does it cost? I said 40 to 70 quid because that's just the general ballpark for a new release, but how many games out there will expect you to spend over 70 quid every season? And they don't want you to spend it for a full year of content, not just 8 weeks or whatever a video game's air quotes season is. They've gone, no, we don't want you to spend it on a game now and then spend it on a game over half a year later on, which is admirable. Like, so there was another question. Tank says, how do Konami negotiate that then with the updates in eFootball? The issue that the difference there is packaging of the product. So eFootball is an ongoing live service game that has annual updates, so it is sold as that in the licensing negotiations, whereas Football Manager 25 is sold from start date to end date and then no additional marketing beyond that. So let's say they buy the licenses for the Bundesliga or whatever, they're allowed to use that and show that, but then after that date they don't talk about it anymore. You'll often see that video games don't show their old cases. So FIFA often, I imagine, don't show FIFA 09 with Wayne Rooney on the front of it or whatever, because they don't have the license for him, or the kit and the Aegon fucking whatever, it was Aeon kind of shit, but taking the piss, sponsors that United would have had back then or something, because they don't have the licenses to show that sort of stuff. Even though it was a thing back in the time, they could go, look, this is the thing we made. But then if they go, you're using that for promotional marketing purposes and you haven't paid for our branding for you, it gets all difficult and shit. So yeah, for a boxed fixed date product, it gets difficult, because then you've got the other bits of, if we push in 25's update to this, we don't have the licenses for everyone that has retired from 24, but you paid for FM24 as a boxed product, and I can't think of anyone that's retired last year. We'll just go Ibrahimovic, even though it was a couple of years ago. Zlatan has retired in that time frame. We're going to take him off you now. And it's like, no, I paid for a boxed product that he was in. Now you're taking it away. So it gets all muddy and messy and shit. So it's play it on PC. Just patch the tits out of it. It's fucking great. Let's go, baby.
Well, that's why every legend that you'll see in eFootball and in FIFA will have had individual rights to be sold for them, even if even if that player is no longer with us, their estate will look after that. And that's why sometimes you don't get to see like Maradona a lot of times and Pele because they're a little bit more expensive. But they eventually come into the game at some point. You just don't see them being sold off a lot of times. But yeah, that's just the nature of football and licenses, isn't it? Like it must be so difficult. And like, Man United haven't been in Football Manager for 5 or 6 years. Bayern Munich the same.
Man United haven't been in football for about 10 years. So,
but I think this one is the first Football Manager where it has the entire Premier League. Like that's never happened before. So it's usually one or two teams. Like Man City have been in it for like the last 5 years. They've been the poster boys for the Premier League in it. They've been the highlight reel. Whereas now I think they've got every team that's in there, including Man United, which they had a massive fallout and went to court about, well, Man United wanted to be paid to be in the game. So I think it was called something completely different instead.
Yeah, it was it was funny because United going, this is ridiculous, you've been using our brand without our approval, this, that and the other. And they went, here's evidence of your marketing guys asking for our content. Here's the tweets where you shared our stuff because it was good promotional things for you, but all of a sudden you didn't know about it or endorse it whatsoever. Yeah, all right then. You fucking greedy
Amazing
bastards.
what happens when you waft a bit of cash under someone's face, innit?
Yeah. Fuckers. Okay, I'm going to put a pin in that and jump back up because there was a lot of comments on it. We'll catch up. I've been neglecting the pickle emote since you made us our own. There you go. Nice. People love my pickle. Apparently so. I'm fine with this. I would have accepted a reduced offering, but equally I'm glad they've made this decision. Big ash to relaunch the game under a new engine. 100%. That's the main thing that we didn't even touch on here because we spoke about it before, is they've made a generational change, is what they're saying. They want to build the foundations to make Football Manager great again. They want it to be playable at a high level for the next 10 years, not just scraping through on an engine that's already steaming and like losing rivets off the side because it's so overworked. And that's admirable. We've seen it. They're not the first game to do it. We've seen it with WWE 2K games. Like, we got a crap game and then a year off. At least this one had the crap game and the year off at the same time. We didn't get to play it, kind of thingy. So this is an admirable stance compared to that. Switching and updating your engines is the hardest thing to do in video games. Even if you're on the same one, going from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5 is a horrendous amount of work. But going from whatever version of whatever engine, I don't know what they're running on, to, is it an updated version? Is it a bigger one? Is it a better one? Is it something completely different? No idea. Build their own engine, maybe? Possibly. Whatever way it is, that's an insane amount of work. To do that, they've probably gone, the idea was not only will it just look and play better in the match simulation thing, but we can embed it into this. And we've seen all these cool social functions, and maybe there's some multiplayer stuff making it easier within the game or whatever. Don't know. But then once you add that, you realise, shit, I've pressed that one button and 4 red lights have come on. So I've turned one off and it was fine. Turned the second one off and 8 more red lights have come on. Oh, fuck. So then it's bug squashing then after that. And sometimes, like, you can fix everything and then move on to the next update, which then breaks everything you've just done previously. And it's one of those things, like, quite often you'll see people, and this is when I'm talking about sports fans being a bit just like, well, I want it now. And it's like, go make your own game then. You can. That's the thing. Sometimes even the people that make the games can't do it as much and as well as they want. You'd often get people going, looking at it very physically in terms of, surely you should have just planned your release better. But how can you plan something that has never been done? You can account for it as best as you can, but any form of video game development is guesswork. I think the amount of hours it will take me to code numbers into a fully playable and immersive, visceral experience will take me exactly this long. How do you know that? How do you know your code's going to work? If it was going to be that quick, you just get ChatGPT 4.0 to fucking spaff it out for you, kind of thing. There is no way to know how long something untangible will take. And sometimes it comes happy days, but especially over the last few years with changing working environments, the amount of delays and things that we've got, which is probably partially working environments, but bolstered by the fact that video games are so big now that the amount for additional QA time, I imagine, is many times longer than it would have been years ago. QA for a game on a SNES or a Master System, QA takes X amount of time. The percentage time needed for QA in overall development will be much bigger now. So yeah, fair play to them. This cancellation hurts them more than it hurts us, but we'll know more about it. Correct, Enzo. Exactly, yes. EA says hi with the unfinished game thing. I think SI have always been fair in the way they've managed the brand. 100%, I agree, very, very much so. But I'm someone that doesn't play the game, and I'm saying that from afar. But from my distant perspective, it looks like the whole Sports Interactive team are an old school games brand that want to look after their community.
Yeah. Well, they actually have a face of the account, which is Miles.
Miles, yeah.
And he tends to put himself, I say, at a lot of risk, because he did at one point tend to give a lot of interviews with a lot of backlash, because sometimes he is a little bit too honest. It may be, but that's just the kind of character that he is. And I commend him for doing that, because when you are technically the face of the brand, you have to put all your cards on the table. And he does a lot of the time. And I think I mentioned in our Discord 5 or 6 days ago, like, if Miles doesn't say anything on any social media, there's usually something wrong. So, I don't know when we're going to see him again. I can't imagine it's going to be in the next 2 months. He might put a statement out later today just apologizing and stuff, but I can't see him being the front of this game for the next couple of months. And do you know what? Wait for the heat to die down, because the only thing that's going to happen is, if he tries to fight it now, he tries to fight the flames, it's just going to end up. It's going to end up being worse for him, because there's nothing that he can say to. I don't want to say to justify the game, because the game isn't working. Like, it doesn't work. They don't want to sell it.
It's already justified in the fact that it don't work. We don't want to take your money off you. Okay, that's justifiable in itself. But if people don't see that as justifiable, you can't have a conversation with them about it. So I come from an old school sort of social mindset of, I don't like it when someone is happy to be the face of a brand when it's going good, but then disappears when it's not going good. I don't generally like that. And a lot of social brand people will be like, yeah, everyone's talking about my game as it's on the hub. Look at me, follow me, look at all this. And then when the game goes shit, they suddenly go silent and disappear. I'm not a fan of that generally. But in this situation, I don't mind it. I feel like just do what you've got to do kind of thing, because the amount of shit, you don't have to put up with that crap personally. And that's what it is for Miles. It will be a personal account. But the arguments around it are so unnecessary. Look, guys, we are not taking your money for a product that isn't worth it. So you keep your money, and when we have something, we'll sell it to you. We'll all carry on together, happy as we are. There is no argument for me in that situation, but people are still arguing. You've said for months this. Great, they've said that they're working on something. Where have they committed beyond any shadow of doubt that they will, like, why are they beholden to you? You've pre-ordered a game. You haven't bought a game, you've pre-ordered. So you still haven't ordered the game. You've taken your money off you, yeah, but that whole conversation about pre-ordering, just because you've lost your money out of your account doesn't mean that you've entered into a contract to commit to play a game. You've placed a payment ahead of the final order.
Just seen someone say they are now going to play FC as EA respect the players. Who is going to tell him?
Just seen someone say they're now going to play FC as EA respect the players. Who's going to tell him? Wobbles, thank you for the 23 months, baby. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. No, I like stream died or just me. It looks good for me. I have
it didn't go down for me either.
0 dropped frames. So it must have been a locally thing. But yeah, for me, if you can't get on board with a brand looking out for your best interests and giving you your money back and sacrificing millions of dollars worth of profit, and that is a stick for you to beat a developer with, then you don't deserve video games. And in that instance, Miles, take a step back. Don't worry about it. So my idea of you should be there through the good times and the bad times, that's an unnecessary time. It's not a bad time. That is, what's the point time? I'm wasting my time and effort and energy when we're already behind schedule to speak to entitled Muppets. Bin, move on. Job's a good one. Nice. They've said, our tank says, oh no, we've talked about the bit about updating it. I hadn't considered the point that if they released in March, they would be taking the piss to asking to purchase again in November. And that's the thing, though. In the real world, they wouldn't. Like, you will often get a new Fortnite season, £8, and then there's 6 different passes now, so that's 7,450 quid that you're already in, because that's how maths works. But then they'll have a 15 quid John Wick bundle, and there'll be a new Deadpool back bling, which will be $4.99 or something. So in one season, you've spent more than the 2 games that you could have spent for Football Manager kind of thing, especially when you're getting it, air quotes, free through Game Pass as well, because you've not spent nothing on that. So, like, them saying charging you for a game in March and then charging you for a game in November isn't very fair.
Mm-hmm.
It very much is, realistically, but the fact that they care that much says volumes to me. So, yeah, love it. I think it's important to mention that man who sleeps with itchy bumhole awakes with stinky finger. Yeah, no, I agree, Enzo. Thanks, mate.
Jesus Christ.
I am happy year more to play. I'm happy to play more for another year to play my 2 careers in Xbox, FM25, Wrexham in the Prem, and Alves Korea. There you go. Nice. At least they're living up to their 90s slogan, Sega, to be this good takes ages. Xbox version is the only one I want to play. PC is too heavy with stuff for me. I mean, that makes sense. I get that. But yeah, I'd probably go for the PC version. I've tried the console versions and the light versions, and it just does not tickle my pickle. Kevlar!
The console version can work with a keyboard and mouse, though. It does work with a keyboard and mouse, and it's just a dumber down version of the main game. Everything's still the same.
There you go. You heard it first. Kevlar, choosing a better player experience over revenue is a huge W.
Amen.
Yep. Fact. That. So, like I said, there's no good cop, bad cop here. There is just obvious cop, and both of us have the same opinion. Naturally, if you feel differently, then you're entitled to that opinion, but
You're a fucking dick.
but whatever, you know. You have people saying that, then you should have hired more people if the code was going to take that long. Yes, all right then. And those same people will be the ones that are going, how many people have been sacked in the games industry? It's all these irresponsible hires. And that's where that comes in. Great. So, yeah. That was JMK that's responsible, by the way. He's not just posing questions. He is that person. Thanks, JMK. As someone who works in development, albeit SQL and data engineering, development is rarely smooth and always takes longer than you think. Yep. Instead of FM, fine for me. I've forgotten what we're talking about there, Wobble, so you'll have to update me. What were we saying? Good here. I'm in office. Shit Wi-Fi problems. Yeah, I play the Xbox version with my PC. Oh, well, there you go. Well, fuck off, mate. You've got access to the PC version on the PC. Just play that one. Sheesh. Although it's free on the Xbox version, I imagine. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, so for that one, Football Manager 25 has been cancelled. We've been talking about it previously. We had updates on it throughout the development period. They've decided to pull the plug. It's not working well. It is what it is. But now we'll move ahead to a story that we can't talk to you about because Bibby will get taken outside and shot. Confirmed. This is written by Ed Nightingale over at Eurogamer. It says Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater release date leaks. Subtitle Sneaky. I'm not actually going to go into the article because then there's danger of us talking about bits and so on. All I will say is apparently some Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater information has been leaked. I don't know whether it's legit, confirmed, or any of that sort of stuff. The reason I'm talking about it is because we don't actually know ourselves. We do work with Konami, and we have been doing bits on Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater for a while. Obviously, we work as Jelly Media. Hi. But we didn't know this information, so I can honestly, hand on heart, say I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is out of date. I don't know what. I didn't even know where it had come from until after the world was talking about it yesterday, kind of thing. So, yeah, that's where we will stop. NDAs, in effect, 100%. But they don't need to be because we don't know. The NDA is us just not going through it all. So, yeah, we can happily tell you that some stuff leaked. Whether it's up to date, legit, and still confirmed, I have no idea. And I can say that a bit honestly because I don't know. If I did know, we wouldn't even have this conversation on stream because I'd be worried about people thinking, oh, no. So, yeah, there's stuff there. Go check it for yourself. That's as much as we're going to talk about it. What I will say, though, from a personal perspective, is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is one of my favourite games of all time. And I am very, very much excited to play this. So, yeah, that's what I will say. Nice. Okay, next story. We'll keep it on this. We'll do the bit that I don't usually like to do, which is go from the full screen over to the next news article and click back on it because it saves me going back to a different screen and doing it then. But so, yeah, next bit of news. Chris Scullion at VGC has this story on GTA 6 is on track to release in fall 2025. Take-Two says there are currently no plans to delay Rockstar's GTA 6. Its parent company confirms. Confirmed. GTA 6 is still on track to release later this year, Take-Two says. During an investor presentation discussing its Q3 earnings for the financial year 2025, the publisher confirmed that the game is still listed as launching fall of calendar 2025. It also says Borderlands 4 is still planned to release later this year. Take-Two hasn't... Are you excited about that one?
A little bit.
Don't know what gave me that impression. Take-Two hasn't given more concrete release dates for either game, however, which may prove frustrating for other publishers who are reportedly deciding not to nail down release dates for their own products so as not to clash with the release of GTA 6. Can confirm this, by the way. I won't say who, but at Gamescom, we met with a number of different publishers, officially as Jelly Media, but just within bars as mates in the games industry, and I know multiple brands, not hearsay, word of mouth, definitely are planning to avoid release dates. So the fact that they don't know when it is yet must be like, fuck, we just want to release fucking... Anyway, back to the article. Quote, we forecast that calendar year 2025 will be an inflection point for Take-Two, the publisher wrote in a statement. From the groundbreaking release of GTA 6 in the fall to the unmatched pipeline that 2K is set to deliver, including Civ 7, that's Civilization 7, on February the 11th, Mafia the Old Country in the summer, and Borderlands 4. What a fucking year for Take-Two/2K. Whew. Last month, Bloomberg claimed that rival game publishers are waiting as long as possible to commit their release dates for next fall because of GTA 6's planned release. Okay, we'll stop there. So GTA 6 is still on track to release in fall 2025. What are your thoughts, Mr. Bibb?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the world will go into meltdown when this game comes out. Like, I don't know if people are saving up holidays already for when this game eventually does come out so they can smash it for as long as they can before having to go back to work and go back to the real world. But the world is going to take notice again when this game comes out. I genuinely, like, you throw Call of Duty in there if you want. There is no bigger game in the universe than Grand Theft Auto, and I hand on heart believe that. The different iterations of this game that you can play, the nostalgia that people have for this game, whether or not you're in your early 50s, or nowadays you're playing it as someone who probably shouldn't be playing it because you're underage. Like, this game is monumental. So when the 6 eventually comes out, I think it's game over for everybody else, Graham, for a couple of months, maybe even for the rest of the year, depending on when it comes out.
The thing I'm looking forward to is GTA 6 coming out, and either GTA 6 Online going live on the exact same day or a week later or whatever it is, and it not working, but the game still being that much of a people magnet that the entirety of Twitch and everything else will be streaming waiting rooms for the game rather than other games. Let's just stream us not playing the game. Because
remember that weird time when Fortnite went down and they had the black hole and it was streaming for about a week and it had more views than anything else on the internet at that time? We live in a weird world.
That's what this is going to happen. Yeah. I mean, It's an interesting. I've been watching a little bit of GTA content over the last few days, like dipping in, not heavily, just dipping in and out of other people's streams, like people we follow. So ICU-ish people in terms of Gact and Stokes, Mr. Blake, who's a PUBG creator that often plays GTA as well. I was lingering for a brief bit in his stream this morning, keeping an eye on it, just because. I was thinking, do you know what? Maybe I might even just bring myself back up to date with the world of GTA. Not necessarily on stream, but just for my own off-streamy stuff. Go through GTA 5 story for a third time kind of thing. Maybe dip back into online and so on, because it's massively evolved. I remember, like, back in the day when the pinnacle of GTA Online was, like, military base and jets and stuff like that. Now, I was watching Molo, another creator that plays... GTA amongst other things. I was watching him fly around in a fucking rocket car the other day kind of thing, and I was like, this game is just so much more advanced than it was when I last touched it a decade ago online. Like, maybe it is worth a play. I've always wanted to do RP-ish stuff anyway, but I'm not thinking that at this point. Just jump in to just experience GTA for a final sort of hurrah before 6 comes along. I think it's on the agenda for me at some point. So yeah, that is probably not something I'm alone in thinking as well. I imagine there is fuck tons of other people that are thinking the same thing, as well as people that are actually going, I'm just going to play GTA 5 now to build up an audience ready for 6 because it's going to be such a monumental thing. I mean, that's the key thing as well. If you are planning to play a lot of GTA 6 at launch, you are very much in the right for setting your stall out now. Build yourself some form of install base now. I mean, everyone else is already doing it, so you're already in an uphill battle, but at least you'll be off the fucking ground and starting your way up the hill when the game comes out. If that's going to be your
you're
jam...
just fine-tuning at that point then, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're fine-tuning your storytelling, because ultimately if you're doing RP, it all comes down to you, your persona, and the way that you handle yourself in certain situations. Like, if you are a socially awkward person, then you need to probably take yourself out of that comfort zone in there, in RP. Just learning now probably would be the best thing to be able to do. Because there is a lot of people that will be able to tell very, very, very good stories, but they just don't know how to yet. So I think...
Well, the reason I want to play DayZ is basically RP. It's not RP where you are definitely committed to it, but it's those, like, unscripted, like, crowd work interactions with people that you don't know. You come across people and you start trying to make friends and you start not trying to kill people, but then you might stab someone in the back, quite literally, or whatever. That's why I want to play DayZ. So that element of that is what I find enjoyable about RP. I'd love to bring like full banter and humor and so on. The downside with GTRP is there's not it's not all that all the time. What I'm talking about is highlights. GTRP, it's a pretty much a real job. You've got to go to work, you've got to do your deliveries, you've got to build your story and your narrative. So it's not just a case of show up and highlight reel, as you might get in DayZ funny moments. So that's the thing with RP is I may get into it and go, do you know what? Maybe this is a bit more of a grind than I'd expect. But all of that is fucking still to come because GTA 6 will have it all. I mean, I am intrigued to see how much of it they will have because GTA, the Rockstar, should I say, bought RP communities and so on. So I'm interested to see how they push the envelope because nobody expected GTA 4 and the difference of what that was to GTA 5. If they just give us a GTA 6 that's GTA 5 repackaged, great. We've got the PS5, but in video game form. It does the exact same thing, just in a new color. Like Rockstar don't play that way. They always bring something new to the table. So I'm interested to see how they build new stuff into it. Not just the, we've got a single player story game, and not just the, we've got multiplayer online. It's what else are they bringing into it? That's the bit I'm quite excited for. We've got a clip of Bumhole. Nice one, Enzo. Thank you, mate. NDA's in effect. He's lying. He knows it all. I actually don't, which is the reason why I'm talking about it. If I knew more, I'd be like, let's not talk about this on stream. My finger smells funny. Nice. Snake Eater is goated. Yes, correct. Just woke up. I think we all know why. Borderlands 4 is greater than GTA 6, says Wobbles.
Interesting.
Civ 7 is greater than Borderlands 4 and GTA 6, says Enzo. Also interesting. How many PC gamers are buying consoles to get on GTA 6 at launch? Good question. Like, have they confirmed that we've got a split release? I know they've always done it before. GTA's come out, and then you'll get the adverts on TV again 2 or 3 months later when the PC relaunch is building out. I remember like GTA 5 getting that first-person mode because that came in on PC and so on. Like, but have they confirmed that we'll be getting that for GTA 6, or do we not know anything yet? Because I think if it's very possible. That's how they've done it before. It makes sense to keep that in mind, but the world has changed since then.
Yeah.
Like the acceptance of PC as a core gaming system. Naturally, not for PlayStation. That's a little bit different for them and so on. But third-party games generally do day and date console and PC. So the largest game in the world, you'd kind of think maybe they've gone that way. That said, it is also the largest game in the world. So maybe they want to operate it differently. So, yeah.
It is.
Leveled up. How you doing, mate? I was wearing your hat in the car this morning. In my day, GTA was 2D. Yeah. I haven't touched it since Xbox One days. Loading times killed any enthusiasm I had, but I probably should have gone back to it. RP, not for me, though. Fucking love the idea of RP. Taking the piss, full-on bouncing, like, getting into character. Yes, please. Like, just unleashing and letting go. Like, with creativity, not being a dick. I mean, a bit of both, possibly. But yeah. I remember the launch of 3, or which went 3D. Such good time. It was 3. 3 was the first one that went 3D. Socially awkward me. I'm cool and lovable, motherfucker. Yeah, sorry, mate. Daisy soft RP, not too rigid. Making a full story from nothing is brilliant. No, that's it, exactly. Soft RP is probably... Is that an actual term, or is that just the way you've phrased it? But yeah, you go in and you make up something on the spot. Like, I keep talking about Mikey Larkin, and other than a bromance and a personal infatuation with him, I've never played with him. I don't know him too well beyond that, but I love watching his content because he has just so many mechanisms built in for his stream to allow him to be creative on the fly, using sound effects, using different banter, using... spoilers. I'm gonna take away one of the funniest bits. But when he meets someone new, because he's obviously very confident. Naturally, he tends to be the one that leads the conversation. You meet someone in video games, quite often it could be someone that's socially awkward. So when he walks up and goes, "Hi," and then someone else goes, hi, yeah, hi. And he's like, do you want to be friends? Should we go to this place? Well, let's go down here and we'll do the killing stuffs. And he's talking to, they're like, yeah, okay, we'll do what you want to do. And he's like, but the key thing I want to mention, though, and I'm fully going into his script here, is I can't play the game as a bar clicker. I don't want to be one of those people that stands in the trees, hugging the trees, and then jumps out on someone. If we're going to attack someone, I want them to see us coming. We're going to jump out and we're going to come in their face. And then, like, that, yeah, exactly. That's what he says, though. But then you'll just hear these socially awkward people not realizing what he's saying, going, yep, okay, we'll do that. It's fucking amazing. Every single time. We're not going to do it from behind. We're going to come in their face. And it's like, fucking amazing. But it's just shit like that. Amazing. Genuinely, 10 out of 10 watch. Go watch it. Anyway, that's why you should get on Armour, Graham. Those unscripted moments happening there all the time. He done, though. I've watched you and Precision play, and you go in and then you get shot, and then you go in and then you get shot. But sometimes you don't just get shot. Sometimes you miss a lot of rounds at the person that then shoots you. So, like, I've not seen any unscripted I've not seen any scripted moments either, because there's just death moments, right? Hello,
I'm
mate.
Just to the toilet. It's been over an hour since I've sat down.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You will stay there and finish. Yeah. Go on, fuck off.
There we go.
Oh, no signal bid. Nice. Split release would sell double copies to so many gamers. Yeah. So sounds like baby's going to the toilet in his seat. God damn. I'm down for RP. Yeah, just the idea of, like, fully pushing a story, like, getting into, like...
Alright, you fucking talk. My name is Graham, and I'm from down south. And I...
Okay, that's one facet. You're an hard southern guy, but then you need to work in something else, and it's like...
Yeah, so the thing is, like, I sound fucking hardcore, but I'm actually,
I don't know what it is. What, we're agoraphobic. We're scared of pizzas. We want to break this bravado shell and become a ballet dancer because that's my true calling in life, or whatever it is. But then when you're building those stupid fucking bits, that's where you get to weave in between the actual main plot lines of the story and add a little bit of meat to the bones. That's where it gets interesting for me. So yeah, very much stuff. Very much. A small creator called Cynics, he just pulls a character out for different engagements. Brilliant watch. Monkatos. Monka! Precision shit.
yeah.
Bibby made an accident. No, that's what it looks like. That's his resting no signal face, mate.
Stay frosty, yeah?
Stay frosty.
Yeah.
Level 3 Backpack has subscribed for 7 months.
Months.
Woo! Thank you, mate. I'm not that old. Jesus, I'm only 21. Sheesh. Oh, there he is. He's back. Level 3 Backpack, thank you for the 7 months sub, mate. Although we don't acknowledge Level 3 Backpack anymore because he thinks toast and bread are the same thing. Weird. Do you know what? We want to have that conversation. Make sure you check out Gaming Nacho on Twitch if you want heated conversations about whether toast is bread. Toast was bread, mate. But anyway. Sings, I don't want to signal. Signal is a baby who can get no love from me. There you go. It should say no signal, not to signal. I get it. I don't want no signal. There you go.
It's TLC, mate.
Baby is a signal who can get no love from me. I fixed it for you, Viv. There you go. You're welcome, mate. I don't think I've seen a DayZ video since I last watched Frankie on PC. Is Frankie on PC the one that...
I'll see Graham on console later on.
Yeah. Is it? Is Frankie on... Who is Frankie on PC? Another name. I follow an account that's got no name, face, no following, no tweets, and it's got 128,000 followers on Twitter. Is this someone that's had a drama? I don't know. I remember the name. Don't remember the account. Anyway, no, I didn't say that. I said it's undeniably the same thing it's called, but they're separate entities once bread has turned to toast. So yes, it was something. Yes. Just like you are a baby. But then, you evolved. Anyway, he hasn't played DayZ for ages. There you go. Okay, next up, we're going to jump into a different story. Boop. Nope, I said boop. There we go. It booped. Nice. One for Bib and Wobbs and all the people on Twitch at the moment. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 hits 1 million sales in just one day. Banter tagline this with a capital K. Night to remember. Way banter. Shout out to Tom Phillips for the banter subtitles, but the actual article says in just 24 hours, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has shifted 1 million copies, developer Warhorse Studios has announced. The milestone was confirmed by the studio on social media in a message thanking players who had stepped into the game's world so far. Over on Steam, the game is off to a flying start. 176,285 people were playing at one point last night during the game's second evening of availability, making for a new concurrent player peak. It's now been 7 years since the original Kingdom Come Deliverance first arrived on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, during which time work has progressed steadily on this sequel, which was originally set to arrive in 2024. Next up for the game will be a series of post-launch updates, adding content such as barbers and horse racing. A hardcore mode is also on the way for those seeking a greater challenge, but this won't be Bibby or Wobbles as they're struggling already enough. Full stop.
They know it so well.
It might have been an ad-lib.
This quote, this gorgeous medieval RPG continues to be just as divisive, prickly, and abrasive as its predecessor, we wrote in Eurogamer's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 review, awarding it 3 stars. Yesterday, EA suggested its reason. Oh, do you know what? Let's talk about other stuff. Never mind. Nice one with the absolute segue and a half. Interesting that Eurogamer awarded it 3 stars. I'm assuming that's a 5-star system. Whereas everyone else is giving it 9s and 10s. Eurogamer are just there with a solid fuck. This is okay. But
there was a lot of things going around about that though, saying that they thought it was far too woke. That was a lot of things that I was seeing on. Sorry, is it not woke enough?
No,
they give Dragon. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. I did see someone saying a similar sort of thing. I'll jump back over to the split screen. I did see someone, and he was an absolute gammon. So I just kind of ignored it very quickly. Someone saying, "Go woke, go broke," and it was Kingdom Come Deliverance has not even broke 200,000 concurrent players because it leans too heavily into the DEI sort of stuff. And I'm thinking, it's got 176,000 concurrent players on Steam. It's not exactly failing. It sold 1 million copies in a day. It's not exactly shit, but it was some absolute walloper. It was called something like John Del Rosa or John Della Rosa or something like that. And he's a Grums or whatever he's fucking called. That nosh piece. One of the few people that I've got like binned on Twitter so I don't see their shit because Elon's algorithm kept trying to push it to me. He was one of those people. He's like subscribed to that guy on X and stuff like that. But he was there was a bit where some people kissed or the two main characters kiss or something. And I think it might have just been like, not even like it was a homoerotic part of a storyline. I think it was, I don't know, maybe an optional cover or I don't know what it was. But all of the comments were going, why have you made this like into something way bigger than it is, you fucking weird. But he is just a fucking gammon, full on gammon. So yeah, anyway, I'm an award-winning gamer. His report was basically it wasn't woke enough. Not woke enough. He used the word woke about a game, get fucked. Yeah, so it's not woke enough. So is this the same one then? It must be a different person then, because this guy that I was talking about is someone that just hates the idea of anything being woke anyway. And yeah, it was weird. It was weird. There was all sorts of people. He referenced something else. I can't remember it, but he referenced something else in his examples, and about this is better, or I can't fucking remember. People were just hitting him with, oh, you don't like homoerotic storylines, but the thing that you've quoted is significantly more homoerotic because of A, B, and C, and so on. And then I got down a big old rabbit hole because the only other thing I remember is his bio has he's got his #1 best-selling author or something because of his Christian values. And then all the responses were he had a fucking injunction filed by his wife for domestic abuse. It's like, what?
I saw that post. Like, yeah, I saw that one.
What kind of Christian values promote beating up your missus? That's not very good, not very Christian, and not just very good person shit. Get in the bin, you absolute tit. Honestly. Anyway, Grums and Pirate something. It's not Pirate Software, I imagine, because if that is the case, that changes shit. It can't be him. He's. I mean, obviously, World of Warcraft fans probably not his biggest fan at the moment after all of the debacle the other week. But you can fuck up in a game, but he's not fucked up in life, right? Right? I don't know. But yes. Anyway, back on the hand. I've not even put the stuff on screen. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 hits 1 million. Does that surprise you though, from what you've played, babe?
Do you know what? It doesn't surprise me based off of what I've played. It has surprised me that it sold that well that quickly. I'm going to be honest. Like, obviously, the first one was a huge success, but I didn't think that this would achieve that goal that quick. I also didn't think out the gate he was going to get 9s and 10s. Again, I said it a few times in this episode. Cards on the table. Didn't think that we're going to be getting that right out of the gate. But that said, remember what I said much earlier in the show with the facts that I've encountered no bugs at the beginning of this game. Everything seems to work as it is. And I've only played the first 3.5. Pardon, sorry?
Apart from dueling and battling and any of that stuff.
I think that's a skill issue, Graham.
Oh, okay.
Everything else,
it can't be because it happens with Wobble as well. Wobbles, I've watched Wobbles. And
sorry, skills.
Oh, okay,
skills issue. Yeah, blanket statement, skills issue across the board. But yeah, I haven't had any bugs at all in my opening 3.5, 4 hours of the game. So, do you know what?
I'm gonna stop you there because we've got a very important comment in the chat. No bugs. Everyone's covered in shit and mud. Surely there's bugs, says Viv.
I did actually think that at the beginning of the game, when you start to go into the water and then you see the maidens cleaning the washing and stuff like that, and Lee was in the chat, I was like, I'm not going to get banned off Twitch. Something isn't going to happen here where they all just start to get undressed or something like that, because obviously you don't want any of that stuff going on Twitch. Like, surely you just have to clear the screen off and stuff like that. If that kind of thing happened, you never know. But
was you expecting, as Wobble says, an orgy?
Yes, orgy, baby. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Cyberpunk was fine. Well, this is it. I don't know what you do in those type of situations apart from look like dumbfounded. Like, you're not gonna start going or anything like that, like zooming in. But like, do you have to clear the screen off or anything like that? Is there something in the Twitch?
No, you clear the screen out afterwards, Bib. Honestly,
don't get a boner. Well, this is why I don't stand up during streams.
Just don't get out on stream. You'll be fine. Yeah. What was it? Was it a Konami sort of game or a barbarianish thing that that Ham was streaming, and your dude's just running around with his tallywhacker out like at all times, kind of thing, and it's just like, okay,
yeah,
I don't know what the TOS is on this.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me that it sold 1 million. I thought it's gonna sell way more than that. It is a fantastic game. From what I've played so far, I haven't continued. I haven't picked it up since we finished the stream. It doesn't surprise me that it sold that many. It has surprised me at how fast and the rate that it's been sold. Like, it deserves all of its flowers at this moment in time.
Yeah, I'm buzzing to see it, like, the success, and for a couple of reasons. Like, obviously it's not necessarily my genre, but watching you play through 2 has definitely opened my eyes to it a little bit more in terms of, okay, this could be a bit of me, I
think this is definitely one for you. Like, it's already been optimized for the Stream Deck. Like, on their page, it says perfect for Steam Deck. So I definitely think this is one. If Danielle's watching something that, again, like Samantha, you just think, ugh, not this shite again. You could definitely just sit there and waste a few hours.
See, I don't have it for the PC. I do have it for the PS5, and I did kind of chiaki it so I can remote play on my PS5 for my Steam. Or we just Lee's sauntered in, so I don't have a PC code.
Hi, Lee.
Sorry, I got something in my eye. Wink, wink. Do you know what? I was actually just about to start talking about Lee, and the reason I was so the bit we're just talking about. So we're talking about Kingdom Come, and how successful it's been, and I was basically saying it's definitely a Bibby genre and a Wobbles genre, not necessarily my sort of genre, but watching Bibby and Wobbles play it this last few days, I've definitely been like, okay, well, this like. Seeing how you influence the RPG, we were talking about it off stream just before we started. Telling Bibby, I was like, seeing how he could influence the RPG-ish elements, not just from the interactions, but how you change your gear and so on. Like, it's definitely a time sink sort of game that I've not played, but enjoy playing when I'm into it. I've not played one for a while, kind of thing, and would enjoy it. So that wets my whistle. But seeing the success it's had has been quite nice personally, not just for seeing the people that enjoy those games around me get a game that they can enjoy, but seeing how successful it's been for the people that have grafted on it. And there's what I was just about to start talking about, you saying it's good to see people that put that fucking level of effort in. I was talking about you on stream the other day, actually. I was recapping your... for anyone listening to this on demand, Eternal Lee is in the chat and works on this game and has been working his ass off on this game. You can find him on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eternal Lee HD. But he was streaming on that channel the other day talking about the wallopers that were reaching out to him for PR purposes. Can I has code? Were effectively like that's probably better than the request that he was talking about. And Lee, rather than going, nah, you're all right, mate, was like, okay, just tell me a little bit more about yourself. And their explanation of themselves wasn't, yeah, I'm a new creator, but this is my genre of choice. I've been a big fan of the series forever. Blah, blah, blah. Their explanation was just Twitch link, YouTube link, no further explanation. YouTube had like 10 subscribers or something, or didn't work or something like that. So Lee then basically went, no, you crack on, keep me up to date with your journey, and we can probably sort something else for you in the future. And he got the response of, you waste of space, or you are useless, or you have no point, or fucking something like that. Something complete knobhead dismissive. Well, you're not getting a code ever, you dick. But seeing people like that have worked so hard on it, to have a game that has only ever been on my radar because of the people around me, start to turn into a game that's on my radar because of itself. That's the ultimate win for me, is to see it change hearts and minds and opinions, and bring new people into it potentially. So you've done something monumental when that happens. It's not just a game for my mates, it's a game that's potentially for me. Nice. What a time to saunter in. Exactly, mate. So you mean we might get G playing Skyrim soon?
You're having a fucking laugh.
Just imagine Bibby's face if I played Skyrim with him.
Honestly, like, I would love the day when it says, I see you, Ice Cream has just gone live on Twitch, and it's like, Ice Cream has mentioned you, right? And underneath it says playing Skyrim Anniversary Edition, and everyone goes, oh, Bibby's fired it up again. And then you see your head playing it. Like, I think worlds would collide if that was the case. Like, I would genuinely love you to just play that game for 10 hours and tell me what you think of it. But I know you've watched me play it for way more than 10 hours and talk about it for much longer. Well, if I haven't been able to entice you at this point, I'm going to
be honest. Skyrim has the same, like, flaw that Kingdom Come has, in the fact that there's something wrong with the bows and the arrows. Like, for some reason, whenever I watch Bibby play these games, the bow and arrows are broken because he just never seems to hit anything with them. There's something off with the accuracy.
It's the controller.
Yeah,
the dead zones on the controller are all shit.
So for me, I'm not going to play a game that clearly has broken accuracy stuff. So there you go. Why can't we get a cursor? Did you see the news article? I saw that the other day. Like, it's not even been released a couple of hours and someone's already released a mod for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 where they've put in a cursor thingy for it. But no, it's not a cursor's fault. It's just the game. It's definitely not Baby's accuracy and Wobbles' accuracy and stuff like that. It's definitely the game. Yeah, that's the reason why. Listen,
if it's two people, then there's a pattern there, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? If it's just one, you're like, he's obviously shit. If it's two people,
Wobbles has got reasons why he might miss shots.
I don't know what mine is.
And it's not just two people, it's multiple games. Every game you play with a bow and arrow, you miss the shots.
It's a bow and arrow then, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? They're all shit and broken in games.
Yeah, Bibby's like...
I'm surprised I didn't shot myself with it, you know what I mean?
Nice. If it's 100% of the game, I'm with Bibby. They could do with an accessibility consultant. Bibby doesn't need accessibility sorting. Yeah, maybe he does. Maybe that's it.
Maybe I'm just playing cross-eyed all the time.
Does anybody know any award-winning accessibility consultant? And I know an awkward award winner that won an award that was awarded to him by an awkward ward. If anybody wants that. Nice. No one can code them properly, clearly. Exactly. Yeah. Across the industry. Soon as they think it's fine, but you put it into a proper hardcore gamer's hand like Bibby. So. Like, what was it? I was watching Bibby on Skyrim, and he was like fighting some fucking dragon in an ice cave, and it was just like, if there was an award for not hitting the dragon, nailed it, mate. Well, not nailed it as the.
I was about to say, I'd probably still miss that as well.
Let's not talk about Wobbles of shooting. Squinty. He's on about me. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, so that's it. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 hit 1 million sales in a day because it's doing big things. Give it a check. If you want to give it a check without spending any cash, then make sure you load up twitch.tv/The Wobbly Gamer, or obviously us on Twitch. Bibby has played a couple of hours it already and has a lot more hours to go. So no doubt we'll see that threaded in and amongst streams over the coming few weeks as well too. But Wobbles is playing an intensive playthrough right now. So if you want a fix urgently, check out Wobbles. Yeah. G, I've pinged you a Steam Deck code for your deck. You absolute peach.
That is legendary behaviour.
Love you, mate. Love you, mate.
What a guy.
Spoilers, I didn't realise that I'd pressed a different button then. I thought that was going to be a deep voice.
Nice.
Oh dear.
I meant to be.
Love you, mate.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Lovely. Okay, we'll put a pin in that one. If that's okay for you. Yes, nice.
Yes.
Great success. Oh, fuck. I can't even find the squeak. Where's my
Squeaky voice.
I can't find it. Okay, we'll give up on it. It's gone.
Just cycling through all these different ones. Fucking hell.
Is it this one? No. Why can't it? What the fuck?
I don't know.
I don't even know how I got squeaky voice. Where did that even? Never mind. Okay, back into the room. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has sold 1 million copies in one day because it's shit hot, mate. But for now, we're going to wrap things up. So we've spoken about Football Manager being delayed to the point it's now cancelled. Sad news. We briefly spoke about Metal Gear Solid Delta Links because we can't say too much on that one. We spoke about GTA 6 is still on track to release and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 smashing it. But for now, we'll jump into our final story, which we do every week, which is... I'm going to sit here and refuse to open this up until someone types !FF in the chat. So we'll wait. We'll wait as long as it takes. It's fine. This could be a while, this. There we go.
Friday.
Tito typed !FM. No, it's cancelled, mate. Oh, goddamn. Thank you, JK. Appreciate that, mate. So, !FF, free game Friday. I did that deliberately. Yeah, course did. Because M's super close to F. Lauren Morton at PC Gamer and contributions from Sarah Richter have this, which is our usual update on what is free on the Epic Game Store this week. From February 6th, which was yesterday, to February 13th, which is next Thursday, Beyond Blue is the free game. Obviously, it doesn't cost you anything to get. It's free to grab, so go fill it. Get in your library, do it. If you don't know what it is, let me tell you. Eline, well, that again, is that Eline Media? Yeah, Eline Media's calming deep-sea dive into the world's oceans aims to both educate and mystify with its underwater exploration. Perhaps it doesn't always accomplish these goals in equal measure, but it's still a brilliant journey. Our Beyond Blue review sums up well. Quotes, although some of the environmental messages are lost, the act scanning Beyond Blue's creatures and exploring its realistic environments makes for a brilliant educational tool. Its chapters feel a lot like a collection of calm, interactive lectures than a passionate plea for action, and that's far from being a bad thing. So if you want some educational stuff while playing video games on environments and stuff, grab Beyond Blue. It's free right now on the Epic Game Store. There isn't an article here, but I did see... I redeemed it only last night, so I imagine it's only just happened in the last couple of days or so. But BioShock Infinite was free on Twitch in the Prime gaming stuffs. So if you're a Prime person, make sure you go check that out as well. I think we had an article that said what sort of stuff was coming over the next few weeks, and that's...
Yeah, we did it 2 weeks ago, didn't we?
Yeah, so that will be one of them. So if you are a Twitch Prime gaming user, obviously grab your Epic free because that's free to everyone. But if you do have Prime on Twitch, make sure you go grab your free games because BioShock Infinite is one of those, and it's only just been added to the list in the last day or two. So make sure you get it. Nice. I did that deliberately. No, you didn't. Fast and Furious, yes. !FF Fast and Furious. Nice. Just like us, as we leave, because we're done. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for another episode of The Scoop. Appreciate you all. If you want to watch it back, it will be on the YouTweebs. If you are on the YouTweebs and you want to watch it live, then do feel free to follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/ice cream, where we go live each and every, not weekday, but Wednesday and Friday and Saturday. So a couple times on Friday as well, because we're hardcore. It's just how we do it. We are going to wrap things up. If you are in the stream, please stick around as we pass a little bit of love on to one of our friends with a raid. But before any of that happens, Mr. Bibb, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes, two things actually. There's not going to be a live episode of The Scoop next Friday.
Correct.
So we're going to record it on Wednesday. We haven't actually discussed whether or not we're going to stream that or not. We're just going to record it offline. We might just stream it and then just put it out for the rest of the guys that are expecting it on Friday on Spotify and the likes. But yeah, there isn't going to be a live episode of The Scoop next Friday. So if you want to get your stuff in, obviously I'll go over to that bit in a second.
Some stuff in? Get your stuff in?
Get your stuff in.
Oh, nice. Bit of back show.
Also, I don't know if you guys have noticed as well, but on our Twitter bio, on our Facebook, on our Instagram and stuff like that, we have actually updated our link now to be a link in bio link.
Link tree.
Yeah.
Not
A
LinkedIn.
Linktree.
LinkedIn's something different.
There you go.
We don't have our LinkedIn's on there.
Yes. Our link tree is now live in our bio, which obviously features everything ICU, whether or not it'll be our kit.co page, where you can find the episodes of The Scoop, all the other social media platforms that we're on, as well as the likes of Twitch and YouTube too. So if you ever in need to find where we are or want to buy some stuff, that is all available for you there as well. It's just a nice, easy place for you guys to be able to find us without having to go on every single platform. We'll put a nice little package there for you as well. But yeah, again, there's no Scoop next Friday live. We'll be doing that on Wednesday morning, I think. But we'll keep you updated as to when that is. It will definitely be on Wednesday. So if you want to help shape that show on Wednesday, there is 2 ways you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. There is a section on there that says The Scoop. All we need from you is the URL plus your thoughts and opinions. We will then give you our thoughts and opinions on the very next show, which will take place at what time next Wednesday, Mr. Graham?
Maybe 10 a.m.
Ish.
Doom says, my Linkine looks like a thesaurus. You missed the D. Okay. Jammy, how you doing, mates? Thank you for using the most used emote over the last month on twitch.tv/ice cream. The up the I5CU, baby. JK, thank you for the social link. It's the
Legendary.
Echo the Dolphin, then? I don't know what that means. Okay, we'll move on. I don't know what these links are from Doom, but thank you, mate. I appreciate it. Everyone else in the chat, have yourselves a beautiful day. Just a quick reminder of that Pippi was talking about then. We have LinkedIn now. We also have a link tree on the Twitter, and we will be live on Wednesday morning-ish for the Scoop rather than Friday, because Pippi's abandoning us again, leaving us unsupervised.
It's Valentine's Day, isn't it?
Unsupervised for the weekend.
Moose the missus.
Do you know what? I'm also doing the same thing. So yeah, I completely forgot about that. I didn't know why you was off, and now I remember. So yeah, I'm off down south. So yeah. There
you go. Schmoozing all over the place.
Everyone, enjoy your schmoozing next weekend for Valentine's and stuff. But from now, we are going to bounce. Stick around for the raid. We don't know who that will be on. If you've got any recommendations, feel free to share in that in the chat. Until next time.
Need to use that emote. We're talking about Valentine's Day. Stop it!
As Wobble says in the chat, do you know what? We'll finish on a classy note because we're a classy channel that does classy things. Wank and a pot noodle day for Tito. Nice. Until next time, stay frosty!
Stay frosty!